Welcome to the Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about smart nonsense. Oh, nice, dude. Rainbow.
I banged up all the cameras and
Ray.
stuff.
Yeah, I do watch your
Season
footage.
30,
Oh,
episode 2. Welcome back. What do you watch my footage?
nothing, dude. I watch your footage, and whenever you get excited, you hit the table, and the table shakes the camera. So I don't know what kind of rig you got going.
You know what kind of
it's all
table this
connected.
is? It's your rinky-dink table.
I
From
don't
the
think,
time
dude.
4 years
That thing
ago,
is
we went into a
basically solid
U-Haul.
steel.
No, it's
For the
not.
pod-
It's actually chintzy MDF.
Really?
It's coated in like sheet metal, but it's not a nice
Dude,
table. It's
that thing
Willy
was
Wonka.
that was like actually for 2 years the only thing to my name. So
And your
that table-
rechargeable AA batteries.
yeah, and that sign. Pretty much everything that I own is now there. No, dude, that's just part of me keeping you
That's
safe.
because when we moved you to New York, the only thing you took was your white champion muscle tees. Sorry. And your midnight blue Super 73 bicycle.
Dude.
And look at you now. You have so many things. You have an
I know.
American flag hoodie. You've got a bookshelf. You've got a couch from Bob's Discount Furniture.
I don't know if I said this, but I'm gonna boot up an office in New York City with our new company. I'm gonna take it to the moon.
I've been listening to these old episodes coming out, and a common thread is this the cognitive dissonance between some things you say and like the energy in which you say them. So the quietest, subtlest to the moon with like, I'm gonna blow this company up. It just doesn't. It don't compute.
No, I'm just trying to be in touch with my raw feelings. No, but it can for sure go to the moon. It's just, well, you kind of need orbital velocity, so you kind of get to be moving fast, because otherwise you're just Sisyphus and you just never escape the atmosphere.
Well, let's not roll down this mountain right here, right now.
No.
You called a meeting today on the Smart Nonsense Podcast. Sorry, almost cacked at the idea of calling a meeting on the Smart Nonsense Podcast to talk about Dirt Combinator. Is that where you want to go?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Sorry. Sorry. If you need more preamble or you want to get on any other threads, like,
well, you
I
said
won't stop
Sisyphus,
you.
and someone called me Sisyphus over the weekend, so I was thinking about going off of that. But then that
Who is
opens
that?
up a portal somewhere else.
Because I call you Sisyphus.
This was a hockey buddy. We're at an outdoor rink, an ODR, as they call them in the business, and it was snowing a lot. So we'd play for about 10 minutes, then we get out all the snow shovels and plow the rink, and then for some reason we'd like plow it, and then we'd be tired, so we'd like talk about it, and then the second we're done talking about it, we just gotta plow again. And it was just like we didn't play any hockey because we were just plowing. It was like pounding snow.
And so you guys were being Sisyphus because you were starting over every 10 minutes.
Just there was no hockey, dude. It was just clearing the sheet, and then 5 minutes later, it's 6 inches of snow on top.
Well, if I could piggyback off of that, that's a different kind of Sisyphus. That I actually think is a good kind of Sisyphus, because that's like a manual labor Sisyphus. That'll clear your mind, clear the air. You're a mental Sisyphus, and that's, you don't want to be mental Sisyphus, dude. That's like restarting everything from the ground up most days.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh.
I didn't know there were fine lines to Sisyphus. I thought he was just one dude. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I think we're all Sisyphus, right?
Yeah.
There's the TikTok of the guy that just lives his normal life over and over.
Yeah.
But then you just gotta inject a little spontaneity. I'll tell you what, though, the spontaneity, and I've talked about this on other calls that I've called, not on the podcast, but the ODR, the outdoor rink. This was one of my Billionaire teammates. He didn't, in fact, make the money himself. He just married into it like a stud.
You should do that.
Trying, really trying. Um, and daughter's about 7, so that's not
Come
gonna
on.
help me out.
I didn't say you had to do it that way. It's that thing where like no one's thinking that, and then you say it, and everyone's thinking that.
Yeah, no, I'm sure there are other people out there with a lot of money, that are older. Uh, not Here's what point I wanted to make. Hold on, let me regroup. Um, Point is, we went to his place because he has a house upstate, and it's like he's like, yeah, it was COVID, and we just figured like they already have like 4 places in New York, but they're like, we kind of wanted this one that was a farm, so we just threw in like a low ball offer, and we like looked it up later, and the low ball was 15 million, and so like it's literally it's like the dream outcome. And this is again like their 4th property in New York, but like this one is like a beautiful. It's like a professional hockey rink. Like the glass is gorgeous, perfect. The board, it's got like trim on the bottom, like crown molding type trim that you know is nice. They got nets. They have a zamboni for it, like a
They have a
proper.
Zamboni,
Well, it's called Pinguino. It's
a
like a
mini
half size
Zamboni.
because
Yeah.
it's dude, it rips.
Did you
Um,
drive it?
it, Lights all strung up. No, I didn't drive Pinguino. I didn't. I don't trust myself because you got to like cut the ice nice. It's a whole process. But it's basically like this just beautiful. It's like 6 houses just surrounding this one area of the rink, and so like each party that comes up, it was like me and my buddy. We just got our own house, and then like some other like kids from these high school buddies, they had their own house, and they're like 8 of them mobbing it, and it's the main house that has like
Are
15
the
rooms
houses
or
like
whatever.
guest houses, like 2 bedroom and a kitchenette?
Uh, they're bigger. Uh, I mean, we had the little boot gang one that was right next to the rink, so we could just like play more often. But they had like proper houses. Like there were like 6 houses on this
Jesus.
property. So it was just sick. I'm just like, damn, that's kind of goals. Like you get your like your grandparents living up in one house, and then you're 200 feet down the hill on the other house, and just all bowling
That
together, playing
is
together.
that is my goal, and I don't know if it's $15 million farm, 6 houses, and a couple ODRs in Pinguino,
Yeah.
but definitely like, and I've told you, like a very nice dense house that also has either enough room to have people stay for an extended period of time, or a guest house where
Mm,
like Athena's parents, for instance, her mom's retired, been retired. So if she can just come live with us for 6 months,
yeah.
that's sick. But
Yeah.
if you're all on top of each other, then it's kind of like hell.
No, you for sure need a separate love shack where they can just go and hang out. Uh, I will say, I think that's one thing that California really has going for it is I really like their indoor outdoor spaces. That's
Mm.
just throwing that out there as you think about nugs, because you can kind of multiply a nug very quickly by just opening the doors and having it be indoor outdoor. So that was cool goals, and also like it's just this really nice part of, I guess, is technically Connecticut slash New York. It's right on the border, but we also went to this really nice. It's like a golf club community. I don't. It's like there's a bunch of like houses that they're developing, and they have a bunch of sports like big golf course, outdoor hockey rink, padel, tennis courts, like everything. It's basically like a rich, not even retirement community. It's just like a 50-year-old community. Um, and that's when they had a couple pro NHL guys. Like one was Mark Messier. He was like he's like 65 now, but he was just a stud back in his day. I don't know if it was
What
the
team
80s
was
and
he on?
90s. The Rangers for a bit, New York Rangers. But he was just like one of the top 5 players, back in the day. Like it
He
was
say
like
anything to you?
Gretzky and Messier. It was his birthday. I was petting a dog with him. Uh,
Wait,
didn't
so you didn't
really
play?
didn't really talk. No, I made a mistake. This is a lesson.
Okay.
They told me to bring all my hockey gear, but I couldn't find my hockey bag, so I just brought my helmets and my glove. and then they had an open spot to play with Messier, and I didn't have my gear, so
What's the
just
lesson?
played with the dog. Always come over prepared.
Always usually over prepare. I would say.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I had the usually in my mind, and I'm like, this is the exception, right? And then immediately it was like, well, you didn't get to play with the good people. The good thing is though, watching them play, like my hockey here is better than playing with like a 60-year-old NHL superstar. That's just like it's a speed game. But it was cool, dude. Cool seeing that community. Also, one of my buddies, he's actually plays on my team here. He's not like rich by any means, but he was telling me a story. He came up for the tournament. I don't know. I think he's friends with a bunch of rich people, but like they took him out to the golf course there. He's like, yeah, I was in a foursome, and it was like me, my like doctor friend, and then this other guy, David, and like we're just golfing around, and David was super nice. He was giving me like tips and everything on like how to drive the ball straight. I didn't really know who the fuck he was. And after, like, oh yeah, I'm David Sachs.
Oh,
Yeah.
all in
Oh
David Sachs?
yeah,
Why is he
yeah.
giving unsolicited golf tips?
Well, they were just in a foursome, and it was like my buddy didn't know who he was, so they were just like, "Oh, that's
That's hilarious.
that's my rich friend's friend," and so they were just in a foursome, and apparently
Sachs
Sachs
was
helped with
alone?
his drives. I didn't know Sachs golfed, but
Yeah,
it's just sweet tart, and
that's nice.
yeah. So I was like, "Oh, that's look at the world's all smashed
I
together."
will say I do miss David Sachs on the All In podcast. I'm a little bit sick of
Yeah,
the guesties they've been bringing in the last like 6 weeks or so.
yeah,
It kind of gets back to like the reason we kind of kicked guests off this show. Like they're good and all, but you never know what you're gonna get with a guest. All we
yeah.
know is like the energy we have, the chemistry we have, and whatever we want to talk about.
To the moon.
Man, to the moon, dude. But Sax brings a different energy, and yeah, I don't know how many more weeks I'm gonna listen if he's not there. To be honest.
Yeah. Tell you what, I just listened to Tim Ferriss
Yeah,
intro with
yeah.
what's his name?
Wait, I saw
Chris
it.
Sacca.
Chris Saka.
And Chris Sacca did a funny like Jason-esque intro for Tim Ferriss, just making fun of him for being like Mr. Over optimize everything and like fail at important things in life.
Sad intro. That's like a smart
Fuck.
nonsense
No,
podcast
no, no. It was
intro.
funny. It was funny. It was like, yeah, he's done every drug on the known periodic table, and I don't know, fucking
Can't get a
laugh,
girlfriend.
giggle, giggle. Oh yeah, he did. He did say his girlfriend thing was like he had to submit the last 3 years of her sleep history or something or some joke. It was funny, dude. I didn't expect it. Dude, call agenda. Let me get to it because I'm stoked. Here's the thing. Okay. I don't know if you heard as a listener, it was me speaking to the listener, but this is a new season of Smart Nonsense. Was it the New Beginnings?
Yeah, this is
And
the season of new beginnings.
yeah.
Season 7 or 8.
It's been exactly the same as
We're on like episode 300 something. Happy 300th pop.
That's neat. Yeah. Yeah, listen to number 300, and it was like just a bad episode because we never know like what the numbers are.
I have to skip. There are a few episodes we haven't published, and if you look close, like those episodes are just skipped. There was one we were told we can't publish. There was one where you revealed an idea that we actually can't reveal yet. I think just 2. Everything else, fair
probably
game.
A lot more. It's probably plus or minus 5 in terms of the accuracy of that number. But so yeah, basically we're trying to like figure out content. And I have this channel, and we're trying to figure out what to do with that. And I have supposed talents in the art of storytelling. So
usually,
usually, depending on my energy levels and oh.
No, don't don't drop the ball. I'll pick it up. So we're figuring out content, right? Which has been the forever problem. newsletters, shorts, longs, podcasts. What does it all mean? What is the funnel? And do you want me to? I don't necessarily
Well,
want to get to the punch because you have the punch, but
yeah, dude, I'm just
that's what we're working on.
right. So the punch was I gotta start telling some long form stories, some like drunk history, 10-minute things, and I'm like, all right, fucking sign me up, dude. I'm Mr. YouTuber.
Well, we figured out the
Because
why. Do you want to talk about the why you have to do
oh,
that?
maybe I might have forgotten about the why. Oh, the why is Y Combinator or Dirt Combinator.
The why is like, well, why build an audience? Why do this smart nonsense thing? And we realized like the reason this podcast still exists 300 episodes later is smart nonsense is our way of life. It's making boring things fun.
Oh.
Our content is then must exist. Well, wait, let me take a step back. Make boring things fun. We've done that with Clipped, our staffing agency. We've done that with our content. You're working on that with our SAT app called Brain Blast, and we're doing that as well with this like high ticket agency. So we've got this little like nest of businesses. We're like, all right, this is kind of cool because we can just kind of like work on the things we can spin up, build cool things, and work on the stuff we want to work on. Make boring things fun. How do we attract more boring things? That's my nonsense
Whoa, dude.
podcast.
What was cool was I don't
No,
think
but
I've
us,
ever.
like our
Oh,
personalities, attract those boring things. So therefore, shorts, longer form content, and podcasts at the bottom of the funnel is the most important thing to work on.
is this how you feel when I talk for a long time? It's really it's kind of nice, kind of
Yeah, just
nice.
sit and
Where
listen. And then you ask me,
you
do you
just
have
got the
anything to add? And
ball.
I'm like, no. But
Penguin,
it's a
no.
new season of the
Um,
Pod Pop, and I'm here
yeah,
to bring some value from my end.
yeah. So here's what I'm realizing. Okay, and this is partly because uh
You
Sisyphus.
have like 5 minutes, Sisyphus.
Okay, all right, 5 minutes. I don't want to be a YouTuber. I really tried to be. It's just not. I don't think it's my thing. It definitely doesn't help that I've just been low T mode for the last 2 weeks and potentially 2 years. But I think the realization is what do we want out of Y Combinator, Dirt Combinator? We want people to like, respect us, and want to work with us. It's like, okay, what's the best way to do that? Original thought is we do short form and long form, and people see our personalities that gets boosted by the short form, and then they just want to like work with us because we're cool guys and you want to hang. But uh, I don't necessarily think the most direct route to people respecting us and wanting to work with us is me doing 10-minute longs on Osama bin Laden or whatever I want to talk about that week. The better thing, I think, is if we made the next Duolingo and then people are like, oh wow, they made $1 billion company. That's really fucking sick. Just like Mark Andreessen or like Founders Fund guys, like they had either PayPal or Netscape. He was Netscape. They basically founded their own sick company first, cashed out, and now everyone wants to work with them because they're like proven dope. So I think that's probably a more direct route than just telling silly stories, drunk history wise.
It's
But
true.
you can kind of be that fun like I wouldn't change anything on your channel. I just think forcing me to do the YouTube thing probably doesn't make the most sense. Versus like building a cool product for a cool company and then shooting a podcast in my free time or our free time.
No, I agree. Um, Hang on, I'll add something. Wait. I think the thing about Dirt Combinator is like I don't even see it as something we're going to optimize for and create like right now because we have Duolingo that needs to be booted up. That's a hog. We've got the agency that needs to be booted up. That's a hog. Um, and we're even figuring out like how do you handle how do you juggle a couple balls at the same time? So I don't even see it as like we immediately pivot to Dirt Combinator, launching cool businesses, and we do 10 a year. It's like, nah, we're on number 2, and that's a hog. But I think we'll learn a lot on Duolingo game and the agency, and then we'll have a good idea about like, what do we build next? How did those go? Blah blah blah.
Uh, and my take, this is different from what we thought, and we'll wrap it in 30 seconds. But I don't even think we should work on the agency stuff. I think it's just going all in on the Duolingo thing, which is Brain Blast. But yeah, we can talk about that. Oh.
Gartaloo!
Gartaloo.
Oh.
No.
All right, we'll talk. I got to run to this.